thing, press the thing. Hi, and welcome. We are live to my totally consistent Monday night consistent live stream on Mondays consistently. How are we doing? Yes, to the person who asked, someone clip this bit. I've been building some of the Tyranids from the Leviathan box set, and yes, the bases are larger. So, Termagants, I got 60 of these guys. So, base extenders for about half of the old little guys, I think. And then mix in 30 of them with 30 of these. And then, you know. They did it with the Necrons, didn't they? And Space Marine. They're doing it with everyone. They're selling all the bases again. A little part of me doesn't mind, though. A little part of me, because they look better on the bigger bases. Since I got base extenders for all my Grey Knights. And they do look better on the bigger bases. Pain in the ass, though. But they do look better on the bigger bases. How are we doing, chat? 35 of you in the chat. The Dagda, Sanguinary Guard, A. Kirby. Many names I recognise. Alan P, Andy H. Hi. How's the sound? Are we good? A bit hoarse today, what with all the pollen in the air. It's been lovely here in the UK, hasn't it? I almost thought about leaving the house. I didn't. I went to the back garden, that sort of counts. But we haven't got real grass, we've got fake grass. So my feet technically hasn't touched grass for some time now. Sounds good. Yeah. Does anyone know if the huge Leviathan book will be available for sale separately? We don't know. I imagine it will. Chat, Indomitus and the one before, I think they sold the books separately. And the stuff from inside the books separately at the time of launch, right? Or was it like a week later or something? How annoying were they? Hey, Max. Yeah, because in the Leviathan box, there's 2 combat patrols, right? So the idea is you could buy the book. Say little Timmy walks into the store next week. Little Timmy walks in, not next week, next month. And he bumps into you and says, hi, I've heard that you've been told that you will tell me, you can teach me how to get into the hobby. And you'll look at little Timmy and said, who's been talking about me? And the other half of the rumours are not true. I did not touch that donkey. But you're right, I can teach you how to get into the hobby. You need this rule book. You could download all your index cards from online, and here's 2 combat patrols, and it doesn't matter which combat patrol you buy, they definitely will match each other, and it's a perfect way to get into the hobby. Oh, and you need some terrain, and you're going to need a friend, and I'm not going to be your friend, Timmy, because quite frankly I find this behavior quite stalky. You're stalking me now, little Timmy, okay? Trust me, I'm not the sort of guy you want to stalk. I'm really boring. I don't leave the house very much. You want to stalk someone who goes skydiving or James Bond or someone like that. Go stalking John Wick. He leads a much more fascinating life than me. I've been to about 3 different rooms in my house today. I am smashing on with the Storm Eagle gunship, by the way. This is 100% paint. I like painting the little ones, but that's just paint. I've got like most of the base colours of the metal on. You can see the canopy is going to be white. The door's going to be white. Anyway, chat, why are you just having conversations with little Timmys who walks up to you in the game store? What's wrong with you? Come on now. Yeah, the Crusade stuff, they've talked about that being its own book already. And there is the first Crusade, the Leviathan Crusade, is in the chunky book. So at the back, you get this showcase bit at the back, right? It's nice. Pretty pictures of miniatures. We love that. You know, this is 100% Warhammer 40k porn right there. Oh, look at that. And it smells so good as well. And anyway, you get past that bit, and it gets to Crusade rules. And then this little section, which is about 10 pages, are your new Crusade rules for Leviathan, the Tyrannic War. And these are all your different ways of playing leveling up your dudes, requisition points, all that sort of shenanigans. So the first Crusade, and it's been retooled, it's been simplified, it's been streamlined. Because one of the complaints about the last Crusade system was it was in an overly complex rule set, which 9th edition was. It added an extra layer of complexity, which was sometimes too much for some players to bear, and the leveling up system took too long. It's like Games Workshop envisaged that people would, and I have this from the Horses Emperor, that Games Workshop envisaged that people would get the Crusade system and play amongst their friends in that Crusade in that system for a year. And that's just not how we gamers game, yo. We wanted a Crusade system that we could plug into with our mates and smash it out in a month, some of us, or in some of us 2-3 months, and then go on to the next one, then go on to the next one. We wanted to consume these seasons a lot longer. So they've simplified it, they've sped it up a bit. And I don't know. Will I play? I don't know. Will I play the new Crusade? I didn't touch the old Crusade. Will I play the new Crusade? What do you think? Should I play the new Crusade? Space Marines versus Tyranids. I've got Tyranids and I've got Space Marines. I could play either side. I've not seen much from the art from the new book. Have you got a favourite image? I have, actually. I have. And can we say, everyone, massive round of applause and show your love. John Blanche announced his retirement like 2 days ago. Again, someone clipped this and said it to me. John Blanche announced his retirement only a couple of days ago. Big handshake, big warm claps all round. Thank you, John Blanche, for giving us the 40k that we got. Your artwork, in your art design and your head of the... You made sure that Warhammer 40k did not walk in the artistic footsteps that had been stepped before, had gone before. You didn't emulate, you didn't copy. You, when it came to art, you designed a whole new gothic, grim, dark design. And sure, others had dabbled in it before, but you guys perfected it. And John Blanche, in large part, in most parts, it was down to you. And so you're a legend, and all us hobbyists will miss you, and all of us hobbyists, thank you so much for making Warhammer 40k unique. Make Warhammer 40k stand out from other sci-fi franchises, no less because of its striking artistic design. I salute you, sir, and happy retirement. Anyway, to answer your question, do I have a favourite image? And guess what? It was before John Blanche left. This. It's on the Chaos page, Forces of Chaos, because you get to Forces of Imperium. This black and white. I mean, look at that. That's 40k. That. God damn it, the man's a hero. Anyway, how are we doing, chat? Without Blanche, there's no way 40k would have been as popular. Also, big love for his use of leopard print. Yes, man. Bringing the leopard print to the grim darkness of the far future. What a legend. Going back up to the chat. No, don't play Crusade. Winter's fluff is 1,000,000 times better. I thank you, Jack Waller. I do try to fluff it up as much as I can. Did I say that out loud? Oh, Norn Queen Alexis in the chat. Hi, Norn Queen Alexis. Everyone check out Norn Queen Alexis on YouTube. She's from Iceland, I've learned. And an excellent content creator who's been smashing it out for years. So, oh. What are we talking about? I seem to have droned on. I passed the microphone to you. up there. Question from Marius Gage. What do you think about the Ogram campaign? My guess is Space Marine players will just say they won their game, lol. The last time they did, I forget what it was. There was a 7th edition campaign, or it might have been 6th edition campaign, and it was on this world, and I forget what it's called. Someone in the chat helped me out. And there was a reason for orcs getting sucked. It was just on one world, and everyone fed in the results of what they had on that world. And I believe what happened was the Imperium got smashed, but the Space Marines pulled back some sort of minor victory at the end. And they wrote it into the lore, but then the laws moved on, right? I can't even remember the name anymore. So the Ogran campaign might be like that as well. It might be lore testing, but we'll see. Mick the Machine, you legend. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate you. Anyone, if you receive a membership from Mick the Machine, show me love. Thank him kindly. He's a legend in this community, Mick the Machine. He also helps out Say Hi Paul YouTube channel. Check that out. He's a legend. If you do get gifted, you have been gifted tier 2 memberships, because for some reason I can't make the gifted membership thing. I can't find the button on YouTube which makes sure that when someone gifts the memberships, they can't gift to tier 3. There must be a way to link that together, but I've got no idea how to do it. I even got the Omnisire, my wife, on it, and she couldn't find it either. So we think YouTube sets it out that. So you've been given tier 2, which gives you access to my Discord. So jump in the Discord, join the Discord tonight. Say hello to everyone. If you would like tier 3, it's tier 2 is $4.99, tier 3 is $5.99. And that's the one that unlocks all the extra videos as well, like the one that went up yesterday and the one that's going up on, where are we? What day is it? It is Monday. The one that's going up tomorrow, which is a Horus Heresy one. And yeah, that is Sons of Horus versus Emperor's Children. Abaddon, the full moon of the Monaval versus the first loyalist Sol Tarvitz. Epic confrontation. And Lord Discordant. Any tips for building Morty, Magnus and Angron? I'm anxious to start them without buggering them up. I've never done Mortarion. Magnus and Angron were easy to build. Lord Discordant, I've seen you around, okay, hanging out there, putting your hand up every now and then. You've been in the hobby and you've been part of the community for a while now. You're a hobbyist. You're a G. You could do it. It's only a couple of Primarchs, and the 2 that I've done were relatively easy to do. I can't remember them being an issue at all. You'll be absolutely fine. And to paint such massive surface areas, I mean, even I made Angron look pretty good. I'm quite pleased with my Angron paint job. And I just did all the cheaty things that I normally do. Lord Discordant, you're a G. You can do it. I believe in you. It's only Primarchs. What could possibly go wrong? Marius, got to nip out to Undercoat before weather turns. Any big plans for 10th battle reports or campaigns? Marius, thank you for your donation. I love you. Again, another G of the community. Any big plans for 10th edition battle reports or campaigns? No. Any planning had been put on hold for a couple of months now because of 10th. Didn't know when it was coming, like you guys. Didn't know who would be available, what I could film, things like that. So haven't got anything planned. Need to get into 10th. Then these plans will evolve. The only plan that I did have was to try and cover more heresy this spring. And I think there's 10 Horus Heresy battle reports now, or 11 or 12 available in the playlist. Most of them are for members, but the plan was to get a lot more heresy out because that is growing and growing in popularity. And those videos that I got out, like the one I'm getting out tomorrow, it's evergreen. It's not going to die in a month's time after 9th comes out, 10th comes out. Having said that, the really old videos that I've got, some people still watch them. There's still some ticking over there to 7th edition, 8th edition, and I'm sure there will be with 9th. But the Horus Heresy is a very enjoyable game. I knew 10th edition was coming. I'm loving playing that part of the hobby. So that was the plan. And with this done, I'll be up to about 5,000 points worth of painted Emperor's Children. And I'm looking forward to the second half of the Sons of Horus coming from Den of Imagination very soon. That will get me up to 5,000 points worth of Sons of Horus, including Abaddon, Loken, and Horus, of course. And if you're listening to this, Den of Imagination Painting Studios, the greatest painting studios in the solar system, I'm thirsty for it. Come on now. You said it's coming. Let me show everyone. The Dagda, thank you for your 60-month membership. Love you. I feel sad that a lot of heresy stuff can't be used with 40k. It can be used with 40k, the Dagda. It just can't be used at tournaments. It can be used. It can. And if tournament players hadn't broken the toys, we'd all be able to play with them. But it was the tournament players bringing the Leviathans along, or the Volkite Contemptors along, or the Triple D Macarians along, or this. It was the tournament players. The Forge World has never been ever fully balanced. So tournament players have always taken advantage of where they find imbalance. They're trying to win, and that's what you do. And there were some disgusting combos that you could get in Forge World. And if the community, if we had come together and said, no, let's not do that. Forge World wasn't meant for that. A Reaver Titan costs 2,000 points. A Warlord Titan costs 3,000 points. It's made for that kind of scale. Let's just not do that. That's a step too far. If we had a community had chosen to do that a long time ago, then we would be even having this conversation. But we didn't have that conversation. So now we are having this conversation because we broke the game. And by we, I mean the tournament players. And I don't include myself in this now, but I did bring Forge World stuff along to tournaments when I did them in 5th edition. I did that too. Townars, everyone? Anyone? Any Bueller? Anyone? So yeah, a lot of heresy stuff can't be used with 40k, but this was my other thought on it. Someone said in the conversations, like, it's a shame all my heresy stuff can't be used in 40k, and I was like, well, play heresy. Grey Knight SEO has been really struggling with 9th edition towards the end, has barely played it at all, and we've convinced him to play heresy. He spent about, he hasn't even stuck it all together yet, but he spent about 500 points on getting a heresy Night Lord's army, the starter box, all the conversion pads, the chest plate for the Contemptor Dreadnought. He's bought some shit from Forge World. He spent a lot of money. And because we convinced him, look, if all he was complaining a lot about 9th edition towards the end of 9th edition, and to be fair, so were we all. And what I meant to say was, Grey Knight was complaining about 9th edition before. He was ahead of the curve, and he complained about 8th a bit as well. He missed some of the old ways, some of the sweeping advances, some of the explosions, some of the randomness of the game, and the hero factor that you can get in Horus Heresy, and the hero factor that you used to get in Warhammer 40k. Your heroes always led from the front. They were the hardest thing to kill. Primarchs are unkillable. And so I convinced him to do Heresy. Me and Alex SEO together, and he's now going that way. And having said all that thing, I think with the leader mechanic in Warhammer 40k 10th edition, maybe it brings some of that back. Maybe the best use of the best leaders is at the front smashing face rather than staying at the back and telling everything to reroll hit rolls of 1. Maybe it'll make for a more exciting game. But yeah, I'm sad that Forge World stuff has gone from the tournament scene. But I think it triggers other conversations like, we did that to ourselves. And it hasn't gone from the whole scene. And you can still play with a chunk of that stuff. And it's called Horus Heresy. And it's awesome. So I made a video, a live stream, my highest viewed live stream, how to kill a franchise, the Games Workshop edition. And right now, I'm sounding like a fanboy. I guess I'm a bit hyped for 10th edition. Are we hyped for 10th edition? Is anyone else hyped for 10th edition? I'm hyped for 10th edition. Hands in the air If you're hyped for 10th edition, contenters make excellent hell brutes. See, hands in the air. Lord Discordant is hyped for 10th edition. Weeb Postuma is hyped for 10th edition. Jim Boucher is so hyped for 10th edition. I'm hyped for 10th ed as I'm just starting the game, never played before. AFC Young, you're gonna love it. Hands in the air. Sanguinary Guard, 2 hands in the air. Fiona, how drawn out everything has dulled the hype a bit. Because everything's a bit drawn out, it's dulled the hype for you. Yeah, it does seem to be a very long one, this one, doesn't it? They are really... And it's still however long to go. They're really hitting those drums. Tommy, Kurt L, the Dagda, hands in the air. Seems a lot like 3rd, so I'm thinking this might be what gets me back into 4th after 9th edition fatigue. R. McKenna, 3rd is very... The bones of the Horus Heresy game system are built around the bones of 3rd edition. If you liked 3rd to 7th edition Warhammer 40k and the main mechanics in that book, such as vehicle facings, weapon facings, terrain mechanics, charge mechanics, things like that, then the bones of Horus Heresy is around the skeleton of 3rd to 7th edition Warhammer 40k. With improvements it's like the best version of that game system that they had, to be honest, with the bones. Yeah, so if you hate 8th and 9th, I fully recommend you go back to Horus Heresy, unless you hate Space Marines, then it sucks to be you. Well, I'm off to join the Heresy. There you go, it's like a better version of 3rd edition, more complex to learn at the start, but the codexes are much simpler. But 10th edition I'm hyped for. And hands in the air time, loads of people are hyped here as well. We're all hyped. Alex Tate, he's hyped. Demogorgon's coming into the chat and wondering what is going on. Hi, Demogorgon. I loved what you did in Stranger Things, by the way. It was a tough role to play, but you smashed it out of the park. It's difficult ripping your way through dimensions sometimes. Lord Discordant, would you prefer the Great Scouring or the Great Crusade as a series from Black Library? Great Crusade is in pre-heresy, Great Scouring is in after heresy. I'll tell you what I'd like from Black Library. I would like the Indomitus Crusade from Black Library. I would like a 10-year effort by Craig Wright, ADB, Adan Abnett, Phil Kelly, Graham McNeil, all the Black Library authors to get together and draw together this timepiece and punctuate it with a big reveal at the end in 10 years' time, which is maybe, I don't know, not the return of the Emperor or the return of Horus, but some great big, maybe it's the final conjunction, maybe Sanguinius. In 10 years, this Primarch comes back, this Primarch, and they build up now. And then somehow Sanguinius comes back through the power of faith, because loads of people worship Sanguinius and the Emperor, and he comes back. And then you've got the 9, and Ferrus Manus somehow comes back as well. And it's like a full... And with the 9 coming back, it's also some answers about maybe Legion 12th, Legion 2nd and Legion 11th Primarch, and maybe some revelation like this was all part of the Emperor's plan, like it started at the Horus Heresy, it ends here, and now with the great chess game is about to begin, and the forces of chaos control Imperium Nihilus. They're not just attacking, they've got their own empires up there. There's a bit in the 9th edition books for the Chaos Space Marines which talk about Perturabo. Oh, it's in the Arcs of Omen as well. Talk about Perturabo is not just crusading through the north, he's building empires in the north and Forge Worlds and Demon Forge Worlds and things like that. So what I'd like to see is the Black Library writers get together with the permission of Games Workshop, that basically by themselves they created the Horus Heresy from nothing, from a bit on the back of a Adeptus Titanicus box to this thing that it is today. including a game, I would ask them to do that for 40k, because it could set the stage to where we were, set the stage of exactly where we are, and where I would like to be is, yeah, the Emperor's still stuck on his throne. Don't ever bring him back. But let's have this big chess game set up either side of the Great Rift, between the good and the bad, or the bad and the good, depending on your point of view. And both of them equally, not just the Imperium all the time. I'm looking at you, Fourth Tyrannic War. But both of them equally getting destroyed by the Fourth Tyrannic War, and the return of the Necrons, and Resurgence Orcs out of Octarius. And let's bring it to a head, let's bring it to a thing, and then the Black Library writers can step back, exit stage left for a moment, and then do the Scouring, or then do Pre-Heresy, the Crusade. I'd like to see, after that, I'd like to see the Unification Wars on Terra, but that could be a short series. But the rise of the Emperor on Terra over those 600, minimum 600, at least 1,000 years. That's what I'd like to see. And then we could be playing in the new, and they could, it could be a thing going forward that every 10 years there's a new full stop by the Black Library. Every 10 years there's a new full stop by the Black Library. And the ticking clock never stops again 1 minute to midnight. It always moves forward. It always moves forward every decade. And it's led not by writers who write rules in books at the studio, and I know they're really creative, and I know some of the narrative they can come up with in the codexes and in the rule books is really good. But there's a reason why they're doing that for a studio, and there's a reason why these guys are writers. And you let writers pull the narrative forward step by step every 10 years. It could become a living model for injecting not only narrative into the universe, but video game titles into the universe, events into the universe, things that people talk about as far as lore, looking back, like Marvel Phase 1. It become like the Indomitus Phase 1, but it's 10 years long, Indomitus Phase. And then after Indomitus, it becomes the Pariah War or something, 10 years long, Phase 2. It's... that's what I'd like to see as a fan. But what about you? Any ideas? What bit of the Black Library, which bit of era of history would you like the Black Library writers to tackle next? What do you think they'd be? What do you want to see? And that's the thing. To come together as a project, they don't all have to come together as a project. It could be 4 of them or 5 of them or something like that. The project doesn't have to be 60 books long. The project could be 2 books a year, every year for 10 years. So instead of 60 books, it's 24 books. But it's got to come at least every 6 months. There's got to be 12 months apart for a book is too long. For a book series is too long. Where are we? Hi there, Winters. Have you had the occasion to play Bolt Gun yet? No. Sorry, Pierre Martinet. No, I don't. I mean, I don't play very many video games. And so if I have any time to play video games, well, I haven't had the time to play video games. I played a bit of Warzone on Friday with the boys, but that was it. Do you have plans to start a new army in 10th edition? Yes, Emperor's Children. The Scouring. You'd like to see the Scouring next. I guess the Scouring is way... If they did the Scouring... See, this is the thing. Once the Horus Heresy is over, I don't believe that they're never going to write a bit about the Scouring or a bit that came after. There's so many bits that they need to tie up, and so many authors that have said that they're invested in those characters. I'm sure there's Black Library writers who want to write the epilogue for the White Scars, the epilogue for the Iron Warriors in particular, the epilogue for Raven Guard, it could be due. The epilogue for the Imperial Fist, certainly, with the Iron Warriors. I mean, that's one. Dark Angels, that's one. There's a lot of... And also, by keeping those books coming out every now and then, post-Scouring, pre-Scouring around that time, or even if someone really wants to do one like 500 years in, and there's still a hero that you remember from the time of the Horus Heresy in charge, now he's a chapter master on a bridge or something. Even if they did them continually a bit... Some of them. We need some of them after the End of the Death Part 2, don't we? We need that. We need some more. Particularly now the Horus Heresy game stands on his own. You still need some Yeah. I'd like to see a War of the Bees 12-book series telling the story of High Fleet Behemoth and the Battle for Macragge. That 12 books on just that. I don't think they'll do that, Marius, because if you've read Dante and The Devastation of Baal, that's a High Fleet. Those two, Devastation of Baal is the High Fleet thing, but you have to read Dante first. Uriel Ventrius, the second book in the not so much of a trilogy now. So that's ground that they've covered. It's not the same ground, but you know what? High Fleet Invasion. And no, the theatre needs to be bigger than that now when it comes to multi-author cross-series things, I think. And it has to be fresh and untouched. Hi, Monkey. Hi, Steve Not Rob. Steve Not Rob, how's it going? Are you running yet? Walking? Are you off? How's it going? And I need to see you next week or so. Are you still off, recuperating? Steve Not Rob, guys. Hearts in the chat for Steve Not Rob. Legend. I'm sure you've seen him in lots of videos. He's recovering from surgery. So hearts in the chat from Steve Not Rob. He will soon. He's basically, his hips don't lie. Like Shakira, they don't lie. He spent too many years kicking the crap out of people in MMA training, you know, everybody doing kung fu fighting. No, I wasn't doing kung fu fighting, but Steve Not Rob was. And so they've had to give him, he's basically more machine than man now. He's like Wolverine. So, yeah, and I've got some presents for you, Steve. So hang in there, brother. See, some hearts in the chat. But you're partly Wolverine now, so, you know, a bit more surgery and schnickety. Wolverine with Deadpool. Want to see that movie. He crossed the Rubicon, yeah. He crossed the Rubicon and survived. Still a wanker, though. Absolute wanker. But what can you do? Who do you think is the next Primarch that GW brings back, or who would you want them to bring back? The next one I would like to see back is not the Russ. I'd like to see someone complex come back like Corax. I think. And with Corax, when he comes, because there are rumors that he's to have ascended, to accepted the powers of the warp that course through the veins of every Primarch. Whether that is true or not, we need to see. Whether it's a shape-shifting thing, we need to see. And also in his return, they could have him in action from the Reign of Blood, popping in, and you could tell PVO from his point of view. And you could fill in large chunks of history with him coming back. You could put him at the Reign of Blood. You could put him at the First Tyrannic War. You could put him here. You could put him there. And then boom. And then this is the time he's decided to say, okay, it's really me. Because staying in the shadows is kind of what they do. Yeah. Steve Not Rob, I'm walking 1.5 miles a day. That's half a mile more than me, buddy. Well done. 5 weeks post surgery. Can't drive for another 2 weeks. You couldn't drive very well beforehand anyway, mate. So it's probably better that you stay away from the car. Because, you know, you're from Dorset. I'm surprised they even let you have a license. People down there. You don't need a license to drive your tractors, do you? No, you can drive your tractors all the time around the village square. But actually letting you out, you can get out of your county for free and run round the rest of the country like we don't mind you being there, but honestly we do. So the longer you're trapped, the better it is for all of us as far as I can see. But yeah, I'm glad you're not dead. The Woad Master, the Woad Warrior is on the list for fresh robot hips himself. Speedy recovery, mate. Yep. The Woad Warrior, I do not envy your pain. Would they accept Corax? Exactly, Jack Hotwaller. So if you bring Corax back, see, it's straight away the question is, would they accept him? Say he has crossed the demonic Rubicon, so to speak, and learned to use the power of chaos against itself, and has been hunting demons in the warp for the last 10,000 years. Would they accept him back? There's a whole, at the moment, the Lion and Gulliman, they're going to have some disagreements. We don't know what they are yet. It's so open, the Lion and Gulliman. At the end of the Lion's book, he hasn't even met Gulliman. So we don't know what's going to happen with those two. But they're going to have disagreement. But ultimately, both of them truly are good guys. Well, loyal. They're ultimately 100% loyal and want to see the Emperor's wish fulfilled. Corax, on the other hand, after paddling in the radioactive waste that is the warp for 10,000 years, is probably a little bit infected. So adding a little bit of grey to the pot is a very good idea. And also not bringing him back as a superhero again. Here's Korax and he's fine. No, you have an opportunity to do something with Korax. You've got an opportunity to do something with Khan, to be honest. R.I.P. Ferrus Manus. R.I.P. Saguidius. Dawn, I mean, Dan Abnett sort of nailed Dawn a bit. Hit him with the nerf pack hard in the End and the Death Part 1. So we don't need to see Dawn there again. Because we don't even know... We don't even know what kind of Dawn we're going to get after the heresy at this point. Though he has popped up in some non-black libraries. He's the canon is that after the Horus heresy, Dawn is... He's in a rough way. He's in a really, really rough way. He took it harder than most. Steve Not Rob. Cheers, guys. I'm feeling the love. Stop feeling it. Put it down. Walk away. Stop feeling the love. The love doesn't want to feel you. You should go around feeling it. Instead, feel the toy soldiers. Feel the little men's, Steve Not Rob. Go and feel little men. Touch them. Play with them. Make them pretty. Oh, dear. The Lion did seem pretty happy about Guilliman being around. Yeah, at the end of the last book, he is happy because suddenly the Lion appears in the world of Warhammer 40k after 10,000 years, and we're all wondering why the Lion is back. And believe me, so is the Lion. It isn't until the end of the book that he figures out, oh, the Imperium's still around, and the Emperor is not dead, and there's Guilliman out there somewhere. I'm not alone. The end. Oh yeah, spoiler. Well, you see, it doesn't spoil anything about the whole book. It answers the question. If you want an answer to the question, what does Lion think about Guilliman? Right now, the most up-to-date bit of lore that we have is, phew, I'm not alone. Because it was looking very grim dark for the Lion when he turned up. It's like, it's quite a surprising thing because he comes into the world of Warhammer 40k and we know him. We spent time with him in the Horus Heresy and the Lion is back. And we're thinking, as we're reading, oh, you're in for a rough ride here, Mr. Johnson. Wait till you find out about the ecclesiarchy. Oh, they put him in Imperial Nihilus. Sucks to be you, Lionel Johnson. You will not believe how bad things have gone. And he does find out how bad things have gone. We're like, yep. That's it, that sucks. But he is a Primarch in Imperial Nihilus, which means there's a Primarch running around in Imperial Nihilus and he does Primarch things, which is awesome. Remember, all of the Primarchs, bar one, unified their planet by the time the Emperor found them, had taken control of their planet. No, it was him and one more. Was it Ferrus Manus? Because that planet could never be fully... There was another one, but it's Angron and one more. But yeah, all the other ones. And so, yeah, he pretty much... Primarch does Primarch things. Newsflash. Yeah. Failed his father. Can't really accept chaos and psychic stuff. Got shoved around by Guilliman. Pretty much spanked Perturabo. Poor fella. That desert scene in the End of the Death was tough. Yeah. Those... No. Lovely Winters, when are the sweet new rules coming to us? They are free. They are online. Go to Warhammer Community. And you can download the new 10th edition Warhammer 40k rules for free. I don't know when the release date is. Have they said when the release date is? The pre-order date? I don't know. Was Mortarion the other one that didn't capture his home world? Yes, there you go. I knew there was two. Everyone else had. Lion found Buddha during his kip. Oh dear. Yeah, well, the Emperor. There is that line right at the start at the End of the Death when Malcador lists out all the things that the Emperor was once. And the Emperor was this, the Emperor was that, the Emperor was this, and the Emperor was meek when he needed to inherit the earth. And the Emperor was... the Emperor could have been any significant figure in our history. That was the intention of that scene. And the Lion found him. 10th is a month for pre-order. What does that mean, Jack Waller? 10th is a month for pre-order. It's a month until we can pre-order? Is it? Is it going to go on for a whole other month? Are you sure? What's up there? Friendly neighborhood inquisitor. Hey Winters, just stopping by. Just stopping to say hi quick. Can't watch. I missed your comment. Sorry, oh, you're still here. Can't watch. It's my wife's birthday today. She'll be bad if I watch this instead. Lol. And then I see you've commented down here. They confirmed June 10th will be pre-order and June 24th release. So there you go. Friendly neighborhood inquisitor coming in clutch and answering questions for us. And you said that you were just stopping in to say hi because it's your wife's birthday today. She'll be mad if you watch this instead, which implies to me that you should, 1, shut down the YouTube, and 2, watch your wife instead. Just sit there like, you're much more fascinating than YouTube, my love. You are the sun, the moon, the starlit skies. Without you, I dwell in darkness. Name that movie, chat. That's a deep cut. Now he's gone for real later. Yeah, good. Go stare longingly at the woman you love, I hope. Oh, and happy birthday to Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor's wife. Matt Dixon painting. Warhammer Fantasy 6th Ed Orcs. Loving the stream. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Way at the top. Simply Warhammer. Check out Simply Warhammer on YouTube. Simply Warhammer is a great YouTuber. Talks about Warhammer simply. Short videos, less than 5 minutes. And up there he said, I want Demon Fulgrim along with Emperor's Children becoming their own faction. Yes. Simply Warhammer, you're behind the curve. I mentioned that earlier. Someone asked me. Am I going to be starting a new faction in 10th edition? And yes, it's going to be Fulgrim with the Emperor's Children because they've just come straight up said it's coming. I want the pink guys. My Emperor's Children in Horus Heresy are purple guys. Here's a bit of lore for you. The reason why they have got purple in their armor is because the ceramite in their armor, some of the pigment from the ceramite in their armor comes from a special place on Terra, and it's basically Rome. They stick a pin in the map. It's basically that part of Italy, and that's where they get the pigment from. In their armor gives them the purple look, the Emperor's Children. And then after the heresy, they don't have access to those rocks, to those pigments from those ceramite materials. So that part of the mix disappears and their purple stuff turns pink. Yeah. Marius Gage, Emperor's Children in 40k. How do I miss that? That's fantastic news. Yeah, it's. I thought it was common knowledge-ish, but they've said it. They've outright said it that they're coming. When the World Eaters Codex dropped, it was in a podcast or something they put out in Warhammer community saying, "Here's this one. We're working on Emperor's Children now," or something. They literally said it. They want to represent all 4 of the Chaos Gods, which is awesome. And Emperor's Children was a big release. They sold a lot of stuff. They sold a lot of Angrons. Didn't Angron sell out? I know the Lion sold out. Did Angron sell out? The Lion sold out and was in the hands of the scalpers quicker than you knew it. But did Angron go? Chat, help me out. Sound. Niall Walsh, why are you saying sound? Is it because of something? There are too many beautiful armies to collect. I cannot play them all. Agreed. I think I've expanded my repertoire too large. I've got so many now. And the way I think I'm going to do it in 10th. So here's a plan. The way I'm going to do it in 10th, I think, is stick with a faction for a bit, like a couple of months, and work at it and try and get better at it. And then flip to another faction, then flip to another faction. And I'll probably stick to the factions as per release as they come out, because I've probably got at least one at a time. Every new codex, like 2-3 months, comes out after each other. And I'll be playing against everyone else and all the other factions. So I'll probably do something more akin to that, because then that will help me learn the edition more. That'll help me learn the factions more, and then we'll be learning them together. I think maybe that sounds like a plan. I've basically got a hankering to play the Necrons first and really find out what they're about in 10th edition. They were my newest 40k army, so they're the ones just because they're newest, they're the ones I want to play first in 40k 10th edition and figure them out. And that might be two, well, no, it won't be two, that might be 4 or 8 battle reports, I think. And then I think, like, after the launch, then a couple of months in, it's Tyranids. So then I think I might switch to the Tyranids just after everyone's finished playing the Tyranids on all the other channels, and do a lot of Tyranid battle reports, and no one will watch them because the whole of YouTube will be saturated with Tyranid videos by that point. But I don't care, because that's what I want to do. And this is about sharing. I do what I want to do in this hobby. I do the do that I do so well. You got to do what you want to do. You guys out there have got to play with what you want to play, paint what you want to play, do what you want to do, read the books. It's your hobby. It's so vast now. Navigate your own way through it, and that's what I've decided to do, and share it with you guys. And it's been fun. So yeah, so I don't care if a lot of Tyranid stuff comes out in the middle of a glut of Tyranid YouTube videos. Maybe I'll do something different. And then we'll do this after that. In the winter time, I think they said, I know Death Guard was in there. There was 4 at winter. Anyway, Death Guard is in that lot. So then a couple of months of Necrons, a couple of months of Tyranids, a couple of months of Death Guard, and I'm sure in amongst there I will do a video with the 13th. Okay. I mean, I just gotta. So I guess when someone asked me 32 minutes ago whether I had a plan for 10th edition, no, I didn't have a plan, but I do now. And you saw it live on air. That's the plan. What do we think of the plan? That sounds like a plan. Is it a plan? YouTube Tyranid invasion sounds good to me. It's going to invade. 10th edition launch box Tyranids. It's going to happen everywhere. Doo-doo. I know I said doo-doo. I'm sorry. I think Grey Knights are getting new models. Yes, I think everyone's going to be getting new models. It's whether Grey Knights are next. I mean, we're everything that is currently in Finecast is getting Primarchified up, right? And they're upscaling everything else, like Sternguard, Terminators. Everything's upscaling a bit. This is the 3rd time they've done it. First time, if you look at Rogue Trader LED stuff, it's tiny. Then you had a 2nd generation of miniatures where everything upscaled a bit. So the difference in size between Praetorians and Steel Legion and Mordian Guard, those old lead miniatures, compared to the plastic Catachans, Cadians, those guys, they grew about a foot in height. And now we're in the 3rd wave. And that didn't just happen with Guard, that happened with all of 40k. I mean, it came out in 86, it was a smaller size. Then around, I don't know, 96 to about 2000, there's a period in there where everything grew, and now we're in a period where everything's growing again. Necrons have grown in size. These little bugs are a little bit bigger, and instead of 22 mil bases, they're on 28 mil bases. Who else did it? Space Marines. Horus Heresy 6th edition, Mark 6th edition Horus Heresy pattern armor is upscaled. So if you want to get any relic armor kits in Warhammer 40k, then buy the 6th edition Horus Heresy Mark 6 armor, because it's upscaled for 10th ed. So yeah, why am I talking about stuff getting bigger? So yeah, do I think Grey Knights are getting new models? Yes. Everyone's getting new models. I guess if the question is, do I hope that Grey Knights get new models soon, then the answer to that question is yes as well. I'd love to see I've got an image in my head, Gravis armored. So here's the thing. The Space Marine implantation process, instead of 19 things in the pot, 19 things on the menu to make a Space Marine, is now 22 things on the menu to make a Space Marine. That's it. And when the Grey Knights get hold of that technology, they will. All the new Grey Knights coming through, instead of having 19 bits added to them and all taken away, they'll have 22, and they'll be Primarchs. And they have their own Forge world, but they're STC templates. They're templates of Gravis, of this pattern, of that pattern. Now, they have their own Forge world, and their own Forge world is the only one that makes Aegis armor and this armor and that armor. And they can make Aegis pattern Gravis armor. Imagine a Grey Knight in Gravis pattern with a Stormbolter strapped over one arm and a sword in the other arm. Toughness 5, 3 wound, Grey Knight psychic thing. That looks awesome in my mind. Yeah. So I want new Grey Knight models. There's new technology out there. Why wouldn't they take advantage of it? What do you think? Who asked the question? A. Kirby. What do you think? Is it a good idea that they get new stuff? Is it a bad idea? See, because having said all that about Grey Knights, Grey Knight SEO, one of the OG SEOs, and I bet you can't guess what his favourite faction is. Well, he doesn't want new Grey Knight models. He likes their uniqueness. He likes the fact that they look different to all the other chapters. And I say to him, and I say to you, sir, they can retain that uniqueness. They can retain it and get new models. Why can't we have both? Hey Kirby, where are we? Talk to me, Goose, talk to me. Monkey would like to see the 13th front and centre. I know you would, Monkey. I know. But sometimes it's not what about you want, Monkey. Stop being so selfish. Sometimes it's about other people, Monkey. Just because you're so a nice person, I named a planet after you and called it Saint Gavin. You know, don't do that nice thing, that selfish thing. Don't bring emotions into this. We're gonna follow me on the hobby journey, even if it crashes and burns. Is Stylus in the chat? Who's saying hi, Stylus? Hello, Stylus. Oh, Wolfboot. Hi, Stylus. Hey, Kirby. Just money is the problem. So when it comes to the Grey Knights and new models, money is, yeah. This hobby, yeah. See, this is why making the hobby as accessible as possible and getting as more people in the hobby as we possibly can should help keep prices down. If Henry Cavill starred in the Lord of the Rings, but it's called the Horus Heresy trilogy, and it was awesome, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. You had a Horus Heresy trilogy, and the Solar War trilogy, because that's all he does, and it's a trilogy, and it's the Solar War, and it's awesome. No, you could do the Lord of the Rings. You could do like Loken at the start, Loken a couple of years in, Loken at the end, and show some things around it. You could. But anyway, say someone managed to do the Horus Heresy trilogy with the Henry Cavill in it, and it was awesome. Say it was awesome. Say there's an alternative reality out there where you and I are going to the cinema tomorrow to watch The Siege of Terror, and it is the Return of the King for the Horus Heresy trilogy, and the first two were the Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring. The first two was Imperium Secundus, and Imperial Secundus is half on Kauth and half Space Wolves and Thousand Suns, and then it ends on Imperium Secundus as this. That was the Two Towers. Imperium Secundus, and yeah. And then the first one, Fellowship of the Ring, was the first three books, sort of, and it was awesome. Imagine that was happening. And then the hobby just took off. Like, it took everyone all the time, can't stop, inject it into my veins. Then surely, if Games Workshop sales revenue not just doubled overnight, but went up 10 million times percent math, it went up that high, surely then they wouldn't put up prices for at least 3 years. Surely. And then, yeah. So you don't have to sell a kidney. Flight of the Eisenstein film. Boom. Boom. How good would that be? Demons on a spaceship. Event Horizon, but done. Yeah. Doesn't matter how good affected. Doesn't matter how good the movies are. My wife will still think I'm a massive nerd. See, this is the thing. Before Iron Man, before Avengers, people who like comics were massive nerds, and getting girlfriends to watch like the Dark Knight trilogy or I don't know, more esoteric things like Blade was cool. But getting them to watch that, and when you said, well, actually, this isn't how this character was. And then it wasn't until Lord of the Rings and Marvel brought nerddom into the mainstream. Now it's cool. Now it's fine. Whereas 40k is still lurking back in the shadows. But if Henry Cavill did it, our Lord and Saviour Henry Cavill, she wouldn't think you're a massive nerd. She'll think that you're ahead of the curve, mate. You were ahead of the curve. Like all us comic book fans that remember Nightfall, when Asbats turned up and Batman had his back broken, that remember the Infinity War the first time they read it. Can remember Wolverine having the adamantium pulled from his bones by Magneto and finding he had bone claws underneath for the very first time. Yeah. We were geeks when we read The Dark Knight Rises. We were geeks when we read Year One. But we are geeks no longer. That would be awesome. Best day ever. I know, right? I know. Cavill would be perfect to produce 30k, 40k series for a movie. Yeah, he did drive the creators of the showrunners of The Witcher crazy, apparently, because he was correcting them on the law. I don't believe any stories that come out through Access Media. What I do know is that Henry Cavill is a big nerd. And he almost missed his Superman audition because he was playing World of Warcraft online. What a legend. He nearly wasn't Superman because he was raiding on WoW. Bro, he's one of us. Oh, dear. Yes, but we are the coolest of the geeks. Thank you, Nigel. We are indeed. Our little community here. The 13th. We are the coolest of the geeks. Appreciate you guys. 5 armies on the go, and I'm looking to start a new Space Marine army in 10th. Hey, Kirby, you have a problem. Finish off one of your armies. Focus on one of your armies. Get one finished. And by finished, I mean 2,000 points painted. And you can speed paint those. But get one done. You could even have the other 4 that you play with, but this one maybe of the 5 armies is the one you won't play with until you at least get 2,000 points done. And so tease yourself, get it done, complete it. Nothing like play, unless of course, have you got a fully painted 2,000 point army at least yet? And if you have, then pick another one. Don't play with it at all in 10th edition till you get it painted. You've got other armies to play with. Like I didn't film any of the Necron stuff until they were fully painted and I could bring them to you guys. I didn't play, even when I played with Necrons off camera, which I did a few times. I never played with an unpainted mini and made sure it's done. Like, actually, tell a lie. There were a couple of times during Horus Heresy but I haven't played since the very first time. Now I've got some models done and painted up. And like I won't play with the Storm Eagle until that's done. We're not talking done, but done. We're not talking out. We're talking out. No one's getting any of these references. I don't even know why I bother. Oh, YouTube comment section below, because there's going to be a few thousand of you dropping in after that who are probably, you're a few high IQ levels higher than the chat is right now, because they're not getting any of them. I did, Ethan Clark. Yes. Mickey Finnick. There we go. We've got a Mickey Flanagan reference. But chat, comment section chat, see if you can beat chat on naming all the other film and geek and nerd references as we've gone, because that's the first one they've got. Okay. So I imagine right now, chat, you're losing to Future Chat right now. Even though Future Chat hasn't said any of the references yet, Chatland is losing to Future Chatland. I know. You're losing to a possibility. I don't make the rules. I'm just reporting to them. So keep on. If there's some more trotting out, even if you don't think it's one, shout at one. Shout me, because you might be right. Because half the time I don't even know what's going on. Okay, chat. Okay. Right. Custodies are finished. What are you talking about, Kirby? Custodies are oh, so you've got Custodies finished. So 5 armies on the go, looking to start a new Space Marine 10th edition. Custodians are finished. Boom. Finish one of your new things. You can start a new army. You can start playing with the new armies. Play with Grayscale. Fine. Play with your friends. You can play with unpainted minis as much as you want to. Time is our biggest sacrifice that we give to this hobby, even more than money. It is the amount of time. That's what Games Workshop don't get when they try and stamp these seasons out, or the turnover at the end of 9th edition was just crazy, and they really should slow down the time scale through 10th edition. Slow it down, because it takes a period of time to buy the stuff, read the stuff, consume the stuff, play with some of the bits and here or there, and by the time you've got, the reason why A. Kirby's got 5 armies is because by the time he's got finally to building that army or collecting that, and then there's another one here, it's another, and yes, it drives sales but it can also drive people away. It drives sales at the top end, drives people away at the bottom end. I believe there's probably a more consistent sale tactic than that. What am I gabbing on about? I don't know. Got my last 2 9th edition games this Saturday. Have fun, Ethan Clark. Really have fun. Have I done my last one? I've done my last one. They're all filmed. None of them are edited. But they're all filmed. And tomorrow there is a Sons of Horus versus Emperor's Children Horus Heresy game coming out for Tier 3 channel members, which I hope you enjoy. Ezekiel Abaddon, Full Moon of the Mournival versus the First Loyalist, Salt Harvets. It was a great game. Comes down to a dice roll at the end. And if you are watching this, Just Craig, thanks for being a legend and not getting all up in my face, yo. Because I know we filmed this game way back, like 2 months ago. But I was sitting on a couple of heresy ones. Because there's a gap, isn't there, in between 9th edition and 10th edition, and to help fill the gap, you filled my gap. You stuffed it tight, Just Craig. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 7th of July. Again, I think you're down for that date. And I don't even know if we're doing Heresy or 10th edition. But thank you for your patience. Dear. Elder versus Guard should be fun. Mootle Doodle, hello sir. I fell out of level 40k in 9th. Really looking forward to getting back in 10th. I'm going with the ethos of collecting a faction, not an army, and painting Chaos Space Marines. That's a great thing. Yeah, so with Necrons in 2 years ago, was it last year? No, Necrons last year, or the year before, 2021. I didn't own Necrons. And then that year, it was like, I'm collecting the faction Necrons, and I played lots of Necrons for the first time ever. And then before then, you saw Necrons on the channel, but I'd never played them, never collected them. So it's 2021 for me. And by the end of 2021, 8,700 points, collected, painted, done. And that video is up on YouTube. You can go back and look and see like my Necron showcase highlight. And then here's my 8,000. This is what I did in a year. Look at me. How cool am I? I made all these things appear. I'm awesome. That sort of video. Oh dear. It's nothing like watching an army rise, a faction rise, and yeah. And when Emperor's Children come round, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make Emperor's Children appear faction-wise. It's going to be gorgeous. I would have done the same with World Eaters, but Alex SEO is smashing. He's always been a big World Eaters player. So no point getting the same army that your mate's got, right? Oh dear. McDoodle. Moodle Doodle. Yes. I love it when I catch the totally consistent Monday, Friday, Saturday. No. You full stop after the Monday. You don't have to mention the Friday or the Saturday. You just say, I love it when I catch the totally consistent Monday ... stream. That's good, because tonight, welcome to the totally consistent Monday night live stream where we talk about Warhammer 40k with Winter's SEO, coming to a YouTube near you consistently on Mondays, mostly consistently. Thanks for dropping by. Thumbs up, like in the chat. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and that bell thing. Press all the stuff and things. Become a member. Become a YouTube channel member to Winter's SEO and help keep the lights on. Love you guys. The consistency is in the inconsistency. It's all part of the plan. As far as I'm concerned, Aussie, I've only ever streamed on a Monday. I mean, it's not like there's any evidence to say otherwise, right? I think I've been consistently hitting, because one of the keys to success on YouTube is by being consistent. I keep getting told that. The battle reports consistently come out on Sunday. Come on now. Come on. Every Sunday a battle report from me. And every Tuesday, if you remember. That's consistent. There will be some days when I miss that, though. There have been some days when I missed that as well. Normally due to technical error. Not rubbing the right grease into the right part of the Omnissiah to make her squeak and things. And then things go wrong. So, hey, wintry boy, you dropping a Leviathan bat rep. Aries, no. I'm not dropping a Leviathan bat rep, no. I knew everyone would. And I didn't want to play with... Also, here was two things to that. One, that meant I had to get everything assembled and painted in the Leviathan box set. And I think everyone else who's dropped a Leviathan box set is like a studio, like Tabletop Tactics, Mini War Gaming, Vanguard Tactics. They've got people. You paint this half, you paint this half, you do. They've got people. I've got Sultan, who, let's face it, he is a person. Next time you see Sultan Plays, check out Sultan Plays YouTube channel or support Bubble Sultan when you see him at one of our events and things. Yeah, he is a person. Don't try and put money in him and expect coke to come out of his arsehole or something. He is a person, but that's all I got on the NDA. So actually getting it all together and painted and filmed and done, and I was just one. I thought to myself, that's a lot of effort, you know? And everyone else is going to be doing that. Everyone. So no, we're not getting a Leviathan battle report from me. Instead, I studied the rules, okay? I had a good read, a good look, a good discussion with Sultan about the stuff before I made that 30-minute video, which is my Warhammer 40k 10th edition breakdown. To be honest, it was one of my most researched videos that I've done in a year. And it's got less views than the video of me just opening the box. Oh dear. So I'm not doing one. I'll just film some battle reports and get them ready for the times when we can do the things. Okay? Bye, Steve, not Rob. Yeah, give me a ring, mate. You've got a Sultan. Exactly. We have a Hulk. I've got a Sultan. That boy can paint fast. He is fast at everything. Everything. Lord Discordant, I'm back. My youngest woke up. What happened? Explosion? Fireworks? Demon under the bed ripping its way into reality? People will want that video when they actually have the rule book themselves and can play games. That video will be useful for years. Do you mean, oh, that one? How to play Warhammer by Warhammer 40k 10th edition breakdown? I hope so. Maybe it'll have some residual viewing. I doubt it though. I agree with Monkey. What did Monkey say? Mike B, what did Monkey say? Why you agree with him? So is that confirmation you haven't recorded any 10th yet? Strictly by the rules of the NDA, I can no longer confirm or deny that I know anything further about 10th edition other than what's in the Leviathan box set. And other than what you guys know. And I've been very careful of these live streams just to talk about what you guys know. But obviously in the future I will be filming or have filmed or have done, you know. Obviously in the future I will be filming some battle reports for 10th edition. Dear. Why does it have to be so strung out? It should come out this weekend. Come on now. They can't do this for 11th edition. The hype period should be about 2 weeks. Makes sense. I just missed the winter's added fun. Thank you, Aries. Yeah, I would like to see a battle report of me playing the Leviathan box set. That'd be nice. That'd be good to watch. I wonder who won, me or Sultan. But I guess we'll never catch that one because that arsehole Winters didn't even... I mean, look. He's got Tyranids. He couldn't even put any paint on it. He's not as he's like the other guys. They've got guys. They've got people. Meanwhile, what I've been doing is trying to finish off my Emperor's Children for Horus Heresy because that's the project that I'm on. Okay, it's not for Games Workshop to decide what I do with my hobby time. This is my hobby time. I will finish the Emperor's Children. I've got that to do. I've got 2 of these to do. And then I have 5,000 points worth of painted Horus Heresy Emperor's Children that I did myself. And then I'll probably work on the Tyranids. And hopefully by then, the new Tyranid thing will come out, right? There's a new Tyranid Codex. Is it 2 months? Chat, 2 months after 10th edition launch? I think it's 2 months after 10th edition. Blah, 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 blah. And then the new Tyranids. There'll be more Tyranids. Surely not just what's in the Leviathan box. There's rumours of a big monster. We have Wraith Knights, Storm Surges, Imperial Knights. You've got big models for many armies. Angron, Mortarion. Let's have a big Forge World, like Barbed Haradjul, Scythe Haradjul. Let's have something like that. And there's rumours that there's something big coming to Tyranids. Finish that. Then I do the Tyranids. Because I want to do it. I want to do... I mean, A. Kirby was in it. I don't know if you're still here, A. Kirby. But it's like, I've got 5 projects going on to the next one. No, I will finish the Emperor's Children project. And then I'll move on. And I'll do a whole new project. I'm also going to start... Tyranids next. And then start on Raven Guard for Horus Heresy. Dear. How much bigger is that Carnifex over the old one? You're not going to make me go next door and get another Carnifex, are you? Please don't make me go next door and get another Carnifex. But I would say the body, to be honest, the body is about the same size. The body is about 10% bigger. The body is about 10% bigger. It's the pose. It's the pose. You know, so how big is it? Does that help? Does that? It does. I'm not helping much, am I? Am I helping much? Am I? 1 minute. Am I helping? Does that help? Does that? No. 1 minute. Where are we? Does that help? Does that, how much? Yes. I'm not getting, am I getting one? When will the new Codex Space Marine drop? They're saying a couple of months. Someone in chat will know. But 10th edition comes out X in June, and Codex Tyranid, Codex Space Marines 2 months later. Yeah, A Kirby, you need to focus up and finish your armies. Finish one. Get that project done. Aries, I'm a staunch follower of the not too much in the pile of shame. Ever since I saw your Custodes bat rep, I've wanted a Galatas, but I want to finish what I have now before purchasing. Boom. Healthy way to hobby. I'm pretty good at my piles of shame. It took me 30 years to get here. I'm looking around at some grayscale now. I'll show you another one that I really want to do. Yo guys, have you all seen the new Demon Prince sculpt in the flesh? You guys seen this? It's Demon Prince with wings. The AOS Demon Prince that's not a demon, that's not AOS. It's just so good. It's so good. It's so 40k. There's comments on lines and in Reddits and things about 40k not looking 40k anymore, about them cartooning it up a bit or toning it down a bit. And yeah, there has been a bit of that over the last decade. There is a bit in some areas. Some things are a bit less grim dark, but in other areas we've got Scarabrand, we've got Scabathax, we've got Belial, we've got stuff like that. And I mean, that's about as OG as it gets. So there's a bit of grayscale. I want to do that Demon Prince so bad. But so many other projects. See, the Demon Prince project is part of helping Alex SEO's World Eaters project, which he's finishing off. And that's to intimidate. I can start on that and get all the detail in, and he can highlight it up. Something like that, while we're sat here listening to Horus Heresy. It's a hobby night on Monday nights normally, but he's babysitting duty. I say babysitting duty. He's parenting. It's called parenting, right? Anyone out there with children? Do you call that parenting, right? I mean, when I hang out with children, it's babysitting, normally for my sister. When you hang out with children, it's parenting, right? You're not just hanging out with children. Unless you are a child, then that's fine. But it's called parenting. I've heard about it. Sounds terrible. Don't know why you'd put yourself through that. It's less hobby time. Oh dear. Please go to next door and get another Carnifex. Oh, fuck you. Yes, okay. Of course I will. He said please and everything. Okay. Are you ready? Carnifex side by side comparison. Old Screamer Killer. Well, it's not really a Screamer Killer, is it? It's a Carnifex. New one. Side by side comparison. The king is dead. Long live the king. Oh. They're my toy soldiers. I can play with them how I want to. God, it's smexy. I know, right? So smexy. Would you say it is more or less distracting? I don't know. What are you talking about? Sure, we're not playing with kids right now. Winters. Good. This edition going to get me to start NIDS, ain't it? If this edition don't do it, if you get the Leviathan box set, that there is a clip Winters doesn't want. No, I didn't say clip this one. Don't turn that one into a clip. When I say clip it, those ones are the ones that you clip. We can cut that out. No, don't cut that out. What am I trying to say? I love the new Demon Prince. Still salty that I sold my full metal sculpt though. Yeah, Fluffy is full metal. You could kill someone with that. You know, Fluffy, the Hellforge Warp Sword he's got, it's a metal Hellforge Warp. You could kill someone with Fluffy. He's dangerous, yo. Yeah, it's parenting, but the wife does it better. To you, it's babysitting. They're my soldiers and I can play how I like. Exactly. The little green guys. Action Man. All that stuff with his, eagle-eyed Action Man. Anyone else? The eagle eyes from... Do you remember that one? I remember that one. I had Action Man. And he took his clothes off and he always had swimming trunks on. Yeah. That was peak modelling back when I was a wee bairn. Have we come to a logical conclusion? It's an hour and 24 minutes in. Or do you guys want to chat some more? I feel like we've come to the end. So let's say 10 more minutes. Any more questions? Any more requests? No, I'm not dancing or taking my clothes off. And we'll wrap it up inside 10 minutes. Will we see jumpy HQs to accompany jumpy dudes? Eventually, I can't see why they wouldn't. We haven't got any jump pack Primarchs stuff yet, right? HQs. There's no like jump librarian, jump chaplain, jump captain. So they will be coming. It's money, so they'll make them. So they're probably made, and maybe they come with the Space Marine Codex drop for 10th edition. Because Primarchs was released in 8th, and it would be just like Games Workshop to finish off the release cycle for Primarchs in 10th, which is 2 editions later, with jump pack captains that should have come out 2 editions earlier. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll come out in Codex with 11th edition. Pardon me. And then we've waited 3 editions for the full, who knows? What's the lore on the new NIDs? Well, the new NIDs are the same as the old NIDs, and the new lore is the same as the old lore. They hungry. They come in a nom. Take your dance off. Dante got a jump pack. My Raven Guard want to steal it. Exactly. We don't even have the jumpy packs for Horus Heresy yet. Where's the jump packs? Come on now. You like the planet eating poster? What, one of these? Are you referring to one of these? They are 4, I'm not sure you are, but they are 4 book art covers for Horus Heresy. They're lovely. I like the colours, like Master of Mankind, Visions of Treachery, Flight of the Eisenstein, hat to go top and centre. Come on. Still need to purchase a lot of their later Horus Heresy books and start the Siege of Terror books. Yes, only available fully on Amazon, on Kindle. That's it. Kindle and Audible. Actually getting a paper copy, impossible. Where are we? We can have an art contest in your community and you can select the art you put on the wall behind you. Yes, you could. Sounds like some organising, so it's definitely not up my street. Dear. Do you think the perceived inconsistency we're seeing in characters' armies is to help some of the later releasing codexes withstand the inevitable creep with the earlier codexes? No. I think no. I barely understand what you're saying. A Games Workshop are a huge company, and they've got these things planned. And they've got a couple of break glass in case of emergency things that they can drop in there, like Leagues of Votan, but they got them planned. And they're not planned by people who think like normal people. They're planned by people who think like companies. Companies don't think like people. It's, yeah, which is why companies make terrible decisions sometimes. It's the nature of the beast. Monkey! Yeah, still looking for old earth in paper. Still looking for old earth in paper. Yeah, old earth in paper? Have I got it? I don't think I've got old earth. That's a good one as well. Just get Kindle, monkey. Get Kindle. I've listened to the first 4 so far of the Heresy novels while painting Sons of Horus. The first 4 are so good. So good. Do you think John Blanche retiring this week will make 40k less grim dark? Hope not. Well, as I just shown a few minutes ago, that's about as OG as it gets. The new Demon Prince is off the chain. And if you go back early in the stream, you'll hear me talk about how in some areas it seems to have got less grim. It's more mainstream, not mainstream, more... less edgy. Some areas of 40k art have got a little less edgy, but there are other areas in 40k art, be it models or what is it, the Blood and Iron series, the Blood Angel series on Warhammer TV, those ones. There's and look at the Horus Heresy and just I think the palette's just got broader. I think it's just got a lot bigger, much bigger, and so there's areas. I mean, Tau turned up in 3rd edition. And one of the reasons why the community hated them, there was not a lot of love for the Tau at the start, I can tell you that. And it didn't go away until about 6th or 7th. 6th probably. No, 7th. Yeah, it went away about 6th or 7th when Heresy started growing. Heresy 1.0 started growing because then other people had other shit to hate on. Like, I'm going to Heresy, I hate 40k right now, all that shit. And then they killed the old world, and then, whoa. So, Tower old news. But yeah, Necrons and Tau came out around the same time, and boy, did their community hate the Tau. Oh, did they hate the Tau. Leagues of Votan got it good compared to Tau players. Oh, I mean, you see a League of Votan player now and you think, I feel sorry for you, actually, because that release could have been so much better. And yes, your strats and your relics and your things, you can do everything any army could possibly wish for. You can fall back and shoot and charge, armor of contempt, reroll morale. You can do all the things that everyone can ever do. But you need a PhD and your army just looks okay. So, and Leagues of Votan, again, is one of those armies that doesn't look that grim dark. And I remember when it came out, me getting loads of messages and saying, yeah, I like Leagues of Votan, but they're not that grim dark. Or people saying, I hate Leagues of Votan, they're not grim dark at all. What is this Mass Effect future going on in their aesthetic? And I'm just sitting there reading it all thinking, Tau. This is compared to the Tau, and the internet wasn't even big back then, but you couldn't even play in a game store. Tau was what the store manager in a Games Workshop did to little Timmy. Little Timmy came in, started annoying him, and he's like, oh, this thing and this thing. And the mum says, look, can we? And he's like, yeah, you play Tau. Do you like big guns, little Timmy? And Timmy's like, yeah, this army's got the biggest guns. He's, oh, well, that army. And then you send Timmy away with that army. And then, you know, that's what happened to the Timmys back in the day. It was that bad. But Tau players learnt to fit in with the rest of us. They learnt to sit down and have their meals without shooting everyone else in the room. Tau players learn to hate again. They crossed the Damocles Gulf. They took on the Imperium. Farsight got a sword, and he's now Farsight is essentially the new Horus Heresy. They went the 5th Sphere expansion straight into Imperium Nihilus and decimated everyone on the fleet who wasn't pure. Tau, the Vespids gone, Kroot gone, this gone. Tau are having their own edge of the Horus Heresy moment right now, and they're grim in the dark right now. And everyone's like, yeah, fair play, Tau. First time. And then people ask me now, do I think 40k is a bit less grim dark? And the answer to that question is Tau. The palette's just got bigger. And that's as grim dark as it gets. That is sexy beast right there. Yes, please. I'd like 3. What do you guys think? I think I'm old. Oh, dear. I keep expecting a suits you, sir. Suits you. Oh, suits you. Long time listener, first time caller. Hi, Levy. Thanks for calling. Sultan Plays is in his house. Say hi to Sultan Plays, and don't forget to check out Sultan Plays YouTube channel. Sultan Plays YouTube channel is an awesome Warhammer 40k channel where Sultan definitely doesn't play anything at all. He mainly paints. Originally it was Sultan Plays because he played. Maybe it should be Sultan Paints, but he shouldn't take it back to Sultan Paints. Don't change it, Sultan. It's not criticism, because maybe in the future you'll play again. Oh dear. What are we talking about? Have you started painting the new No, Sleepy Jack. I have not painted any of these yet. Sultan has definitely painted some of the Space Marines though. Thank you, Sultan Legend. Check out Winter's SEO Instagram, Sultan Plays Instagram. You'll get like, comment, subscribe, all that crap. You'll find some of the pictures of the new shit on there that Sultan smashed it out of the park with. I can't change now. I'm too stuck in my ways. Exactly, Sultan Plays. You can't change now. You're old now. You're almost in your 30s. Oh, dear. Oh, my sweet summer child. Where are we? I know you were not a big fan of The Last Church, but you pointed to a story I didn't know, so thank you. Jack Waller, I don't know if you caught a live stream that I did a couple of weeks ago, a month ago maybe, where I talked about The Last Church, because I have read... So I'm going through the Horus Heresy on Audible for the first time ever, even despite reading the Heresy through twice, and chunks of the Heresy more than twice. They're really, really... The Last Church, in reading form, didn't grab me. It was good. And to say I'm not a big fan, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Last Church, but listening to it on Audible, it hit a whole other bar, and I wish I could point back to you and say, hey, check out this live stream that was posted on this date from 43 minutes in. Go there, click on that. I wish I could do that. I wish I was that organized. I wish someone could clip it, but I can't. So here we are. But trust me when I said there's a rant, me saying, okay, I get it. I get The Last Church. I think in particular, some of the novellas and some of the short stories are better in Audible than they are, and I prefer books. I prefer reading. That's my preferred medium of consumption. Like I prefer ice cream to cake. Mind you, I like cake. Who doesn't like cake? Ice cream to rocks. Yes. Anyway, you know what I mean? I like The Last Church. Check out The Last Church on Audible. Awesome. 10 out of 10 would bang. Warhammer novels haven't truly been experienced until heard through dulcet tones of Jonathan. Jonathan Keeble is an awesome narrator. And there's the other one. Jonathan Keeble and Toby Longworth, my two faves. Couldn't tell them apart. Well, I can, but they're my two faves. I just literally today, because we are now on the Age of Darkness audiobook, and I just did the last Remembrancer audio, and that was very good. I like that one. That was Horus basically just saying fuck you to Dawn. It's great. Anyway, I said it'd be 10 minutes. We're about 10 minutes in. I want to thank to the end, 10 minutes to the end. So I want to thank everyone for popping by, everyone for commenting in the chat, everyone from commenting, subscribing, and the new members and things. Thank you. It's been a good one tonight. I had a nice chat. So yeah. Video coming tomorrow, which is the Sons of Horus versus Emperor's Children for tier 3 channel members. Sultan, I will see you not tomorrow, Wednesday. March of War coming down tomorrow. Sultan Wednesday night. And then we're squashing on Thursday, Sultan. Like squash. I do squash now, chat. I do squash now. Once every 2 weeks only. But I do squash now, okay? So I do leave the house sometimes. Just not today. Or yesterday. So leave the house, people. Let your feet touch grass. We might all be nerds. We might all be pasty. But there is an outside. There is a whole new world. A whole fantastic point of view. See it at some point. It's very hypocritical of me to say I should leave. I should leave. I should go. But so I'm gonna go and watch some Warzone. I think. Pure athlete monkey. I know, right? Ooh. Sultan Plays filming 10th edition on Wednesday too. Is that what we were doing? Yes, we were. Yes, we are filming 10th edition on Wednesday. Looking forward to that. Squashes. You mean the fruit? No, I mean the like chasing around a ball. I mean that. Squash is dangerous. Yes, it is dangerous, but not when you're a mean, lean, athletic machine. It's dangerous for everyone else, including the walls. You know, it's dangerous for Sultan. I've made him sign a waiver before he steps inside the squash court with me, because decapitation is a real threat. Because the power of it would be like a space marine swinging a squash racket. You know, if there's anything in the way, it's just that's decapitation straight away. But Sultan is a brave soldier and has dared to step in the octagon with me and go toe to toe with my balls. And it's been fun and sweaty. And I do like smacking each other's balls around. So, yeah. Thank you for dropping in to the live stream this evening. There's something broken, so I can't just press the thing now. I've got to actually click on a thing and go over here. I think I'm lined up. I think it's that one and that one. Who's your favourite character you've created? Snow, he's dead. Rip, Snow, thanks for bringing it up. I need some time for that wound to become a scar. Happy wargaming.